Hansel and Gretel. In a far-off land, nestled among deep forests and silvery streams, there lived a poor woodcutter with his wife and two children, Hansel and Gretel. The family's cottage was humble, with crooked wooden beams and a roof patched with straw. Inside, laughter often filled the small rooms, but as a great famine swept the land, laughter turned to sighs of hunger. The woodcutter, troubled by the sight of his children's empty plates, tossed and turned each night. His second wife, the children's stepmother, grew bitter and cold-hearted as the cupboards emptied. One stormy night, as thunder rumbled and the wind howled like a chorus of lost souls, she devised a cruel plan. "We must take the children into the forest and leave them there," she whispered to her husband. "It's the only way we can survive." Huddled by the dying embers of the hearth, Hansel and Gretel overheard their stepmother's harsh words. Tears filled Gretel's eyes, but Hansel comforted her. "Don't worry," he whispered. "I'll look after us." Once everyone was asleep, Hansel sneaked out and filled his pockets with smooth white pebbles from the garden. The next day, under a grey, heavy sky, the family ventured deep into the forest. Unseen by the adults, Hansel dropped the pebbles to mark their path. When night fell, the woodcutter and his wife left the children, promising to return. They did not. Under the glow of a silver moon, the pebbles Hansel had dropped shone like tiny stars, guiding them safely back home. Their father wept with joy at their return, but their stepmother's heart grew even harder. A few days later, she forced the family into the forest again. This time, Hansel dropped breadcrumbs instead of pebbles. But birds, quick and cunning, ate every crumb. Lost and alone, Hansel and Gretel wandered the forest, with only the whispers of the trees for company. On the third day, as the sun cast golden specks through the canopy, the children stumbled upon a marvelous sight. A house made entirely of gingerbread, with windows of clear sugar and a roof covered in frosting and candies. Starved and exhausted, they ran to the house and began to eat. Suddenly, the door creaked open, revealing an old witch with eyes as sharp as needles. "Dear children," she crooned, "come inside. There's more to eat, and you can rest." The witch, sly and wicked, had built the house to lure children in so she could eat them. Once inside, the witch locked Hansel in a cage and made Gretel her servant. Each day, she fed Hansel to fatten him up, but clever Hansel showed her a thin bone instead of his finger, tricking her. Gretel, meanwhile, watched and waited, her heart both fearful and brave. One morning, the witch grew too impatient. "We will cook Hansel today," she declared. As she preheated her large oven, she asked Gretel to check if it was hot enough, but Gretel understood the witch's vile intent. With a burst of courage, when the witch leaned forward, Gretel gave her a mighty push. The witch tumbled into the oven, and Gretel quickly shut the door. Freeing Hansel, they discovered chests filled with pearls and jewels in the witch's house. With heavy pockets and lighter hearts, they ventured back into the forest, this time finding their way home. To their joy, they found their father alone. Their stepmother had disappeared. The woodcutter wept with happiness and regret, embracing his children. Hansel and Gretel, wise beyond their years, forgave him, knowing that desperation had clouded his judgment. With the witch's treasure, the family never went hungry again. They lived together in love and joy, with the dark times of the past becoming but a distant memory. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.